welcome back. Welcome to tonight's segment. I hope you're all having a great day. Before we get into the meat of the segment tonight, I just want to make it very clear. And in no way do I condone violence against protesters, nor do I condone violence from protesters themselves, causing damage to communities, businesses, and of course to innocent people. Now, the reason why I bring this up, in the last 24 hours, this man right here, he was driving in his car down in Panama City. He comes across a protest. They have the traffic blocked off. He takes it upon himself to get out of the car and confront the protesters. An altercation occurs. In that altercation, he pulls out a gun and shoots two protesters, both which end up dying. Why? Because he was delayed maybe 20 minutes, maybe an hour. What's more important? Seriously, what is more important? Why would you do something like this? Why would you get out of your vehicle? You're not in any danger. They're protesting a cause, regardless if you agree with it or disagree with it. Panama City, if they have the right to protest, they can protest. Same is for here. Same anywhere. If you have the right to protest non-violently and you're not causing civil harm to innocent people, you have every right to do it. Now, as it comes to us, the citizen, maybe those of us who are not protesting, or might even be considered a counter-protester, it is not our right to take the law into our own hands. It is not our right to commit violence against those that are protesting. It is law enforcement's job to deal with any violence or inappropriate activities at a protest or a rally. This man is going to get what he deserves. He is going to go to jail and he is going to serve time. There's unequivocal proof that he's done it, and he will pay for it. Now, the reason why it was brought up is because it goes into the heart of tonight's segment. And once again, I say I have no issue with someone peacefully protesting. But once you start protesting violently, causing damage to local communities, especially if you're not even from that community, law enforcement needs to take control, arrest you, charge you, and you should serve your time. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into tonight's segment.
Women did not get the vote by voting. It is time for deeds and not words. It is time to just stop oil.
Politics is failing us. Politics failed women in 1914. If millions will die due to new oil and gas licensing, millions! If we love history, if we love art, and if we love our families, we must just stop oil.
For real. We must. I mean, what could we possibly need oil for? I mean, these kids, I'm sure they want nothing to do with it. Nothing whatsoever. I mean, well, the guy is wearing glasses, but as you can see, the frames are plastic. And, well, they both are wearing shoes. And probably got rubber soles or inserts. Or even just the regular housing of the shoe could be rubber. I mean, unless those shoes are made from rubber from a natural rubber tree. No, I don't think so. But yet, millions will die in the future from new oil leases. Millions. and if we loved our families or loved art, I mean, apparently the priceless piece of art in the protest doesn't count, then we would stop oil. I mean, it has no function. We don't need it, do we? I mean, I can't think of anything that we have that we really need oil for. I mean, okay. Maybe the phone you're watching this on, or the tablet, maybe even the computer. Probably made of plastic. Has nothing to do with oil. Nothing. Not at all. Well, sorry to break it to you. Either this activist group is exceptionally stupid, or they're the banality of evil. Just think about this. Look around you right now. Like I said, I mentioned the phone in your hand, the tablet or computer you're watching on. Probably have a lot of plastics in it. Based on what they're saying, is apparently they don't know what plastic is made from. Plastics are made from petroleum and various resins. Well, petroleum is just another word for oil. So without oil, we wouldn't have our cell phones, tablets, the camera I'm talking to you on, my lights, even your TV at home. Yeah, look at this. Plastic. Parts of my microphone, my keyboard. It's everywhere. Plastic. All derivatives of petroleum. Now, they're suggesting that we just stop oil right now. What would happen? I think over the next few days, we'd use our national reserves. We'd have power. We'd have electricity for a few days nationally. Now, what happens if we turn off all the oil globally? Well, it's not pretty. Because we know in order to run our machines, we need fuel. We need to lubricate the machines as well. Not trying to be dirty, but you need the oil for lubrication, various types. Now, without our machines, say our generators, pumps, we would not have clean water. The generators would not be able to spin the turbines that are used to provide us our electricity. So in the matter of a few days, we lose power. After we lose power, that means the pumps that clean our water and send it back to our homes so we can have clean drinking water, which we all need, goes away. So whatever's in our hot water tanks or stored away that we already have, that's what we have. So what happens next? Well, we can go to the grocery store and buy water. We can buy food. How do you think the food gets to the grocery store? Trucks that use fuel. And then the farmers, the tractors they use to till the ground, to harvest, all require fuel derived from oil. Well, Antonio, they can just use electric vehicles. Okay. Not a bad idea. But how are you going to charge the batteries if you have no electricity? Well, we can use the generators that we have stored. How are you going to power the generators without fuel? You're going to use solar energy? there is not enough solar power or solar panels in production today that can make up for what oil provides us today. Not in 5 years, not in 10 years could we produce it. But without the oil, we couldn't produce it anyway. Because we need the machines to function to create the machines to create power. But we'll use the solar panels to power the machines to make the solar panels so we can make more solar panels. Okay, now you got to lubricate all those machines. But then, even though you're creating more solar panels, what about the people who need the power to survive? The electricity. Well, okay, how are you going to do it? That's just one step. That's just partial electricity. Everyone refuses to use nuclear power. So we can't use nuclear power because we don't have enough plants. How can we build the plants if we don't have the oil to turn to fuel to build the plant? Now, that's just daily life. Now it's going to get worse. 2 or 3 days, we're out of clean water. We're out of power. That means hospitals will not be able to have their temperature-controlled environments that they need for medications, vaccines. Then it goes to those that are already ill. We'll just say diabetics. In many cases, the insulin needs to be refrigerated. Now, without power, refrigeration units don't work. When that happens, the medications fail. The diabetics don't get their insulin. They don't get their insulin, they eventually die. Now, that's just saying diabetics. What about other medical illnesses that require treatment and medications that require temperature control? Well, but what about like just people that are taking pills? Okay. Well, I can just go to the drugstore and buy more. Okay, but how did those medications get to the drugstore? Well, through the mail, or they got shipped on trucks that require fuel derived from oil to get there. But we can just make them, okay, with machines that require power, which is electricity, which is provided by fuel. Get the picture? Now, in just a couple weeks, the urban areas would collapse. Lack of food, lack of clean water, lack of sanitation. People would just die. The elderly would die from heat exposure. They would freeze to death because they don't have the capability to cool or heat their homes. These kids talk about millions dying in the future because of new oil leases. Well, if we did what they said, millions would die in the matter of weeks. No clean water, no ready available food. And without that, people start getting hungry. It gets violent. There was a survivalist website that I have in the credits today. Check them out. Read it. And it's pretty frightening if you think about it. If you were to turn off all the valves that provide us oil, I'm talking about all over the world. We are just to stop right now. Boom, done. No more oil. Within 1 month, 90% of this world would be dead. Think about that. 6 billion people gone in 1 month. Why? Because activists like this think that if you just turn all the valves off, we can just get along the next day and the next day. You can't. We are to the point in society where we rely so much on oil, not just to fuel our vehicles or provide us electricity, but to provide everyday goods. Think about this: the Tupperware you have in your kitchen cupboards, storing food, your refrigerator itself, cooking utensils, everything. Everywhere we go today, even parts of your rug, your carpets are synthetic, all derived from oil. So if it's something like this, a group like this, Just Stop Oil, it tells me, like I said, it tells me two things. Either they are just incredibly stupid, or they're evil. They want us all to die. I'm just curious, which is it? And like I said, I'm all for a good protest, as long as it's civil and peaceful, and you're not causing, property damage. You have the right. In the Western world, you have the right to protest, unless you're in Canada. And yeah, it's just as long as you're not violent, not causing damage, protest. Stand up for your cause. But damn it, if you're going to stand up for a cause, please do the research. Find out what you're fighting for is real. Stuff like this is a joke. It's a joke. It tells me one thing: either these two kids right here are doing it simply just for the attention, to say that they did it, or that right there. That's pathetic. Either that guy did absolutely no research in this, and he has a crush on her so bad he would do anything for her. If he went out there and he gave a speech in a museum, not knowing anything about the necessities of oil in today's world society. They have no clue. No clue. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Can we just turn off the oil and that's it? And we can live happily ever after and the environment recovers and we all live in paradise? Can it happen? I don't know. But based on all the information that's out there, most of us only got a couple weeks to go. And we'd bite it. No clean water, no sanitation, no easy access to food. That's the end. That's simple. These people are idiots. But that's just my opinion. All right, kids. So on that, I'm going to leave it there. You guys have a good night. Remember, vote angry, and we'll do it again soon. I love you. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Good night.